Yeah, appreciate the question. Well, before I answer that, first and foremost, I just, really think it's been a tough day and a half here for our country, and I think, it was good to be able to play a game like this, Tony, be honest, just to kind of take our minds off of what's going on, but it's been a tough start to the last couple days for our kids. I know there's been some struggles for obvious reasons, and just going to continue to pray that we can kind of move forward as a country and get things right. So I think there was a little bit of that going on, but not certainly didn't affect the game in terms of how we played at all. But I'd just be remiss if I didn't speak to that. I don't know. We gotta continue to play 4 quarters. I think to answer your question, we outscore them in the second half, but we didn't. We had one bad quarter. And against a team like this, I think you got to have 4 really good quarters. You can't really have a lull like that. The free throw line was a major factor, and some of our inability to score in one of those quarters was due to the fact we were in foul trouble. Some of the key kids that I thought were scoring the ball well were sitting down next to us with a couple fouls, and we just have to do a better job of not doing that so we can play within a flow.
But the fact that you guys were able to come back multiple times in this game, what does that show you, I guess, about the fight that you do have? Or is it just maybe just that more frustrating since you weren't able to close it out?
Yeah, I'm of the second part of that. I've been coaching a long time. I've never been happy with a moral victory. Oh, good, we're close game. That's just not, we want to win. And we wanted to beat Maryland. We knew we had to play better. I thought, they did a better job in the first half, especially in that second quarter of, getting offensive rebound putbacks. And then we had some really good open opportunities, and, they nailed them and we didn't. And that, if you really want to be a great team consistently, people got to hit open shots or finish a free throw or whatnot. So I thought that was the difference there. But, we're just, at the end of the day, all you can do is look at the tape and get better. They got some kids that kind of bullied us down low, especially on rebounds, and the huge difference in the free throw. And I think, as I mentioned before we started fouling, I think they had 29 free throw attempts to our 14. So it was a huge disparity at the free throw line. So we got to do better at that and make sure that we're not putting ourselves in a position to be disadvantaged. But I don't know. We'll watch the tape, Audrey, to be honest, and just take a look at where we're at. I don't feel good about it because a loss is a loss. Yeah, she was spectacular. She really, I had a feeling she was going to hit her 1,000th point today. I think she was only 14 points away, but, to do it the way she did, certainly 32 points, 5 assists. I think she only had 1 turnover, a couple steals. She was very, very consistent for us. We were like one more guard away from being like when we have like her and Eliza, for example, as good as Nia was, and she was spectacular, we just need like one more guard to be a little more consistent as a scorer just to help her. So if Nia has her 32 and we can get somebody that's a little more consistent and get us at 15, 16, 17 kind of range consistently, I think, that's what we really need out of those other guard positions. So that's what big-time players do. Nia's never shied away from a moment. I think she was excited to play Maryland. The 1,000th point was great for her, but I know she would rather win the game, just knowing Nia.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Brian Callaway. Suzy, you mentioned the second quarter, and one of those people that was on the bench was Julia A-Roll. Can you just describe just how much of an impact that she's just continued to make it? Differences she made when she was on the floor.
Yeah, that's the thing. Ju can't get in foul trouble. She has to do a better job of kind of understanding where she's at a little bit, because we need her on the floor. She's really playing well. She stretches the defenses that face up 4-man for us. She's got confidence she can put on the floor. She's a good passer. Great rebounder and a shot blocker too. I mean, the kid does a really good job with that. I think she's a little underestimated sometimes in that situation, but she was a reason I think we struggled a little bit, and I thought, Ty being in foul trouble hurts us too. She consistently tends to do that, and she's got to learn and kind of mature a little bit in that department, to be honest. She cannot continue to get 2 fouls and be on the bench for us, because she was really doing a great job in there, pinning and sealing and ducking in, and she was a problem for them in there. Even if she doesn't score, we kind of we can cut off of that and play out of that. So it was important that we get her some touches, and it really affects our flow when those 2 kids, I think, are not in a position where they can stay on the floor. But yeah, Julia's been really, really good so far, and I love how she's playing. We need her on the court.
We'll go back to Tony Paul.
Yeah, Suzy, I just have a couple quick ones for you. One, Nia's ankle, any issue there?
No, I think she's all right, Tony. I mean, she tweaked it a little bit there. I'm sure it'll be sore, but it wasn't anything major that I saw. She finished the game, so that felt good.
And going back to what you started with, I'm kind of curious. Did you talk as a team about what happened in the last 24 hours in our country? You bring it up, but did you talk to your players about it? Did they talk to you about it?
Yeah, this one has been interesting because when this all took place, we had already finished practicing, and then we came in and it was shoot-around game day, so it was a little bit difficult. But I know I talked to a couple of them privately, personally, or whatever about what's going on. But yeah, it's been difficult. I think there's a lot of different perspectives, right? And depending on who you are and where you came from and some of your past experiences, I think, you see what goes on, and it's hard to make sense of it. It's hard for them to make sense of it. And, it's difficult, but we do talk about it. We have talked about a lot of things, throughout this crazy pandemic time, as well as, the injustice that's gone on in the world. So this was kind of no different. But this time we didn't really get a chance to, Tony, just because of the timing of it. Like I said, practice was over, and I just talked to a couple of them collectively individually versus collectively. But I'm hoping tomorrow we can have a chat about it.
Anything else for Coach Merchant? All right, seeing nothing else, Suzy, thanks for your time.
Okay, thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.